feeling good about this shit. Pam Bondi is jealous of her, I bet. Hey, this is Def Media Reacts. We got a new and exciting video. This is very interesting. It is about the Pam Bondi situation, the hearing. I'm real happy that these dumb motherfucking Congress people are fucking putting sense into their brains and getting rid of these motherfuckers. I still don't trust them, but they might be doing a good thing right now. They might be doing a good fucking thing, bro. Get these motherfuckers out of the fucking house. Of the fucking White House, bro. Keep the White House black, I mean. But yeah. We gonna watch this video. Just let me pull it up and we gonna react to it. Just let me get my little game going too, for real. Because you know me, I gotta get my game on. Shit. Gotta get my game going. Alright, cool. Everything's going swell.
But why was certain information redacted that's against the nature of the law? Why was certain information redacted that's against the nature of the law?
That includes survivors this morning. They're going to be in the hearing room.
Did you get any updates overnight on the Guthrie investigation? Were they keeping you informed overnight on that? And when did you first find out about the El Paso situation? When did you first hear about the El Paso situation, Madam Attorney General?
She don't want to answer any questions. For real, shit.
To prosecute the 6 lawmakers. Any comment on that failed grand jury indictment?
She real mad. Yeah, that's how they really need to feel, bruh. They really need to feel that fucking anger, bruh. They've been fucking up everything in the United States, bruh. I'm still getting out of this United States. Fuck that shit. I ain't dealing with any more bullshit in the fucking United States, bro. Once I get my passport, I'm leaving up out of this bitch, bruh. But yeah, I'm happy that they're finally doing something to this corrupt president. Shit. Get him the fuck out of here, bruh.
For that to U.S. Attorney Bureau.
You know why that went wrong?
We will now introduce today's witness. The Honorable Pamela J. Bondi has served as the Attorney General of the United States since February 5th, 2025. She previously served in the Office of the White House Counsel, 2 terms as the Florida Attorney General, and spent more than 18 years as a prosecutor. We welcome our witness and thank her for appearing today. We will begin by swearing you in. Would you please rise and raise your right hand?
Not sure if you saw the news, but
Obviously.
Fox News is claiming President Trump is declining in the polls. President Trump responded and said,
Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is true and correct?
You know why she's smiling? Because she's gonna lie throughout this motherfucking hearing. And she thinks she's innocent, but we all know she gonna be lying her ass off, just like the fucking big ass motherfucking orange bitch.
To the best of your knowledge, information, and beliefs.
He been getting that Epstein dick up his ass too.
So help you God. I did. Let the record show that the witness has answered in the affirmative. Thank you. You can be seated. And please know that your written testimony will be entered into the record in its entirety. Accordingly, we ask that you summarize your testimony. Madam Attorney General, you may begin.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Jordan, Ranking Member Raskin, and distinguished members of this committee. Thank you for hosting me here today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to answer your questions, highlight the work of our department, and discuss the most important topic of all, keeping the American people safe. A little over a year ago, I was sworn into office as 87.
For real, for real. If they wanted to keep the American people safe, bruh, they wouldn't be acting like this, bruh. Especially when it came to all the immigrants and whatnot. They killed two to three. They killed two Americans. Fucking they killed Charlie Kirk, which is their own bitch. They killed their own fucking they killed their own fucking people, that fireman. Republicans are cannibalizing each other, bruh. They actually are. And the Congress people are thinking, since these Epstein files are out and they got something on fucking Trump, they should have been done something, but now they're figuring out they can actually do something about him, bruh. He been getting fucked up his ass by Epstein, bruh. Trying to tell you. That's why Elon Musk and fucking Trump are so buddy buddy. They just broke up too, bruh. Because they fucking fucking Elon Musk wasn't giving him that good dick.
7th Attorney General of the United States. I came into office with the goal of refocusing the Department of Justice on its core mission after years of bloated bureaucracy and political weaponization. The Department of Justice's core mission is to fight violent crime, protect the American people, and defend.
What fucking violent crime, bruh? You've been fighting the people that aren't violent, bruh. And defending what, bruh? Defending yourselves?
The rule of law above all else. While our work is never done, we have made tremendous progress.
Yeah, your work is done, bruh. And y'all never made tremendous progress. It's a shame that y'all fucking think that, bruh.
To make America safe again. In
America will never be safe with y'all in the office.
2025, we saw the lowest murder rate in 125
That's a damn lie.
years. That's nothing short of his.
In 25 years, let's look that shit up, bruh. Let's look that shit up. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Murder statistics. USA. And 12-year span. Yeah, 12-year period. Let's see this shit. We gonna look this shit up, bruh. Alright, we're gonna pull it up through here. Alright, cool. Let's see what this shit says. So, we're here, right? Year 25, 2025. 12 years would be 13. So, let's see. Murder rate. So, by 2021, right? To 2025, it has gone high. Lowest was at the lowest was at 14, right? So 2014. 2014 is when Obama was in the house, right? Let's see. What year was Obama elected? 2008. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. 2008 to 2017. Yep. So 2008 to 2017. Well, 2009 specifically. So yeah. So the lowest was at 14, right? 2014. And it has gone high ever since ever since uh ever since 2017. Yeah, it has gone up a little at 2015, 2016, and at the end of Obama that he was in office at the end of his tenure. I think it's tenure if I'm using the right word. So at the end of Obama's tenure, so when did Trump go in office at first? So 2017 to 2021. Yep. So 2017 to 2021. So so while he was in office, it was so it was still up around when he was in office. That was probably when that was just his first year, so we can't really blame him for that because he was going off of Obama's. But it went drastically low. It went drastically low whenever Obama was in office. That's the that's that's the that's the thing about that. While Trump was in office, it went low a little, but in 2019, it surged up. So he was still in office at that time. So yup. So she's lying about that. She's really lying about that. When it started going down in 2021, it started going down in 2021, right? So that was when he was about to leave, and that was when Biden came in, right? So Biden came in at Joe Biden. So 2021 to 2025. So it started to go down whenever Biden came in. So we can't really count that because this is all Trump's, era. So in 2022, it started to go down. And ever since that, yeah. So they're lying. Whenever the Democrats was in um in the office by 2013, it started to go down. Well, this was George Bush era. So in 2014, it started to go down a little. I could say that. Well, and on the when whenever Obama got in office, it started to go down. Basically, this is George Bush and Obama's era. This is Obama's era. This is George Bush era. So started to go down. It peaked a little when Obama was in office. So whenever Obama left, this is when shit hit the fan basically. So yeah, they was lying about that. Since 12 years? Hell no. Every violence, the murder rate went up surgically, been surging up ever since he was in office, bruh. Now it went down whenever whenever uh whenever Biden went into office. So they're trying to steal what happened whenever the Democrats was in office and trying to tell the Congress people that they made the murder rate go down. Bruh. For real? You can't lie about that shit. But yeah. You gonna lie straight into the Congress face right after you pledged that you wasn't gonna lie. Pledged to the Bible that you wasn't gonna lie, bruh. This is some crazy shit, bruh. They on some dumbass shit.
Historic. If you compare 25 to 24, here's what you'll find. The murder rate is down 21%, robbery down 23%, carjacking down 43%,
Bruh.
gun assault down 22%,
No.
ag assault, burglary, could go on and on.
Nope.
Crime is
That is
declining.
a damn
This
lie.
did not happen by accident. The numbers tell an important yet straightforward story. President Trump has given us the resources, the support, and the leadership to protect the.
Okay, let's see this. Let's see crime rate. Oh, I should have never went into this. Crime statistics. Uh, Let me get this shit. Alright, cool. Alright, so let me do this real quick. I gotta put in my monsters real quick. Alright, so murder, homicide. Yeah, we already seen that. Oh, this is crime. Okay, crime rate per. Alright, so 2021 is when Trump left, right? Yeah. So crime rate per 100,000 population for 2021 was 6.81, a 6.2 increase from 2020. So basically, so basically, let's see it like this. So 2014, that was when whatchamacallit was in office, Obama. So 4.4. For so it went up a little, went up, went up. Damn, he's jacking me up. Damn, he got all them motherfuckers in the fucking. Yeah, I should have never have gone in this shit. Hold up, let me just do this real quick. Alright, nope. So Joe Biden was in office from what year? Okay, we're gonna bring this back on the whatchamacallit, right? Alright, fuck it. I don't really care. He could beat me. So 2021 to 2025, right? So 2021 to 2025, it went up 6.8. Well, he Trump was still going going hard in this shit, so we can't really say this was I mean Joe Biden's fault. So when did Obama come in again? So 2017 to so Obama came in 2014, I think. No, 2009 to 2017. So 2009 So let's say 2010. So it went down in 2010 to 2011, and then it went up a little high while he was in 2012, went down some more in 2014. So whenever Trump was in, which was 2017, it went high a little bit. Whenever Obama came in, it kind of went high a little bit, and then it still inched up a little bit still in 2016, from 2015 to 2016. So 2017. This is when Trump was in. So let's say 2018, because this is rolling off of Obama shit, right? So 2017 to 2021. So in the middle of his 10 years, it went down a little, it went up a little, and then it surged up at 19 to 2021. That's crazy. So that's a damn lie too. So this is some crazy bullshit. How you gonna lie like that, bruh? So throughout Obama's tenure, it lowered, right? And then so there was minimum crime rate at that time. But whenever Trump was in office, bruh, search up, bruh. It went down a little, but then it surged up from 2018 to 2021, bruh. So how you gonna lie, bruh? This is crazy, bruh. This is crazy how they be lying like this, bruh. This is crazy. Trump can't. Trump's people can't believe what they're saying, bruh. They can't, because the way they be lying is crazy. So this is 2020, right? This was when he was in office. So carjackings, carjackings, bruh. This is some crazy bullshit they be telling, bruh. I hate how these fuckers be lying, bruh. I really do. Because they be telling so much story. Alright, so we're gonna look at this. Yeah, it went down a little. So it spiked up in 2000. It didn't spike up but it went up a little. Right when Obama was gonna leave the office, it went down. Then it went up whenever Trump was in office. Wait, yeah, yeah. This is crazy, and this is violent crimes. Yeah, they be lying. So it's 2009, right? 2009 to 2017. Well, let's. Oh, he was senator in 2005 to 2008. I Yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, 2009 and 2017. So 2009 and 2017. It went down in robbery in 2000. So it went down in robbery. It went up a little and went down when it comes to homicides after. Well, a little, and it turns up basically. Yeah, this is crazy though. How they be lying. But yeah, this, bruh. And Congress just let them lie like this. But yeah, let's get back to the fucking video, bruh. It's just ridiculousness how these fuckers be lying to Congress and they just let it happen.
The American people. President Trump's policies have saved lives. I cannot think of a policy outcome more important than protecting the lives of American citizens. Can you? This trend has been especially clear in Washington, D.C. and in Memphis. These are two iconic American cities that spent years in the grip of horrific violent crime. The Department of Justice surged law enforcement resources, and the results came quickly. Crime plummeted in both cities. And I want to make one point loud and clear. We achieved those results by working with Democratic mayors. Public safety does not have a party registration. When your constituents call 911, they don't ask for political views of the responding officer. They ask for help. I have federal agents in each and every one of your districts. They're here to help, and I am here to help. Many cities and states have worked with us and taken advantage of our federal support. Some have not. Meanwhile, a few elected officials have declared that they are, quote, at war with the federal government and encouraged widespread obstruction of law enforcement. This has resulted in avoidable clashes on the streets, as you've all seen. We've seen rioters storming a Christian church. Citizens and law enforcement officers have both been endangered by reckless rhetoric. We have made dozens of arrests in and around Minneapolis so far, and many of them could have been avoided by simple compliance with federal.
Those arrests was not meaningful at all, bruh. And you straight up kill 2 people over there, bruh. All these immigration, all these ICE shit, we losing a lot of money through that, bruh. We're losing a lot of our workforce because of that. And they doing it through sly and snake with sly and snake like tactics, bruh. And they just wallow about in their fucking houses congratulating themselves like they're doing a job well done, bruh. They're not. We kind of do needed those people, bruh. We did kind of needed those people. And what we gonna do with those people when we have to replace them? Because you already know most of the United States people are not gonna want to replace those type of jobs. It's crazy how these people just think they're doing something good, bruh. It's crazy.
Law. Of course, our efforts reach beyond our urban centers. We are striking crucial blows against terrorist organizations such as MS-13, TDA, the Sinaloa Cartel, and Antifa. And as we sit here, I think you've seen the news this morning. The news is reporting that cartel drones are being shot down by our military. That's what we all should care about.
All that's probably a lie, like shit. All that is probably a lie. Because they probably just destroying their own drones and saying it's uh cartel drones
Right
basically.
now, protecting America.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible.
Nina can't code.
Interesting. Can it generate reports?
It can now.
Nice.
So you're saying we can all build apps now?
Yeah.
I'm on lunch.
As we seek to dismantle these drug trafficking networks that poison Americans, in 2025, our DEA agents seized more than 47 million fentanyl pills and more than 9,800 total kilos of fentanyl. That represents
Let's see about this shit. Uh, Let me change out the alright, here we go. That's the Trump. Oops. That's the Trump administration. Administration. She's seized. Seized fentanyl. Fentanyl. I'm probably misspelling it, but it's all good. Seized fentanyl during their tenure. Tenure. I don't even know how to spell tenure. I think it's tenure. Tenure. I spell check. I wish, bruh, for real. Yeah, this is crazy, bruh. Oh well, fuck it. There we go. Okay, so Trump's unlawful Calgar power grabs result in 57 decrease in percent in decreased fentanyl pounds seized. Uh, yeah. I mean, I could give it to them. Been assigned by Los Angeles, even their highly specialized positions on field. The consequences are dire. CalGuard's efforts help ensure the Guards members are demobilizing 5,000 soldiers expected to go home. Police off the streets, teachers off out of classrooms. But thing about this is, yeah, they're slashing all this fentanyl, but meanwhile, they're scaring the American people at the same time with all these shutdowns and whatnot, bruh. Yeah, yeah. Along with taking out all this drugs, of course you're gonna have drug seizures due to deadly drugs because what what fin- whenever you're off a heavy drug, you you your body tends to get comfortable with those drugs inside of you. So when you're off those drugs cold turkey with no slowly getting off of it, your body gets uncomfortable with those drugs being outside of your body. So it becomes defensive. And this is how these seizures come about when it comes to these drug addicts. Just like with people gaining weight and whatnot. Whenever you gain weight, and it doesn't have to be because of food, eating ridiculous amount of food. It could be just eating all carbs, basically through bread and uh just bread, pasta, and all this other stuff that has carbs in it. Uh your body get used to eating those stuff, right? And when you take yourself off of those foods, your body is not going to be comfortable with it. So what it does, it keeps your body weight at a standstill and you might grow more, you might stay the same. That's why when you slowly get off of those foods, your body tends to lose weight more than you do cold turkey, basically. So this is what's happening. Now let's see this. Pushed. I mean, yeah. I could give that to him, bro. I can give it to him. That's one thing they can say, but let's see. Let's see something though, Obama. But at the cost of scaring the American people, though. That's the thing about this. They've been seizing a whole lot of heavy drugs, but at the cost of scaring a lot of people and uh giving at the cost of making these drug addicts become become becoming susceptible to seizures, basically drug related seizures. So let's see, seized. So you're gonna lose a lot of people because of these drug related seizures. Because once you get a seizure, and there is no one to help you with those seizures, then yeah, you're you probably gonna die. Yeah. Uh yeah, I could say that. So to compared to compared to Obama's is not really that much though. 110 pounds basically. So it's not really that much when it came to compare compare to other presidents. She did. Slow recognition, initial date. Okay, and Biden's they got 27,000 pounds of fentanyl. And dive deeper. Hold up. Ultimately, the Obama's administration tenure marked the beginning of the okay. While the subsequent administration have dealt with exponential record-breaking increases in the amount of drugs entering. Uh, so at Obama's tenure, that's whenever these fentanyl uh fentanyl was distributing basically. So we can't really say anything about that for real. Because it wasn't really a threat in t- while Obama was in office. Whenever Trump was in office in 2020, they only got 4,600 pounds shipped to Mexican cartel production and border smuggling. In Biden's era, they they've been it seems like it was more in Biden's era tenure. They got the most in Biden's tenure. Well, now, oh, so I was actually wrong. So actually, in 2023, law enforcement seized over a 2,000 increase from 2017. So after, hold up, when was Obama? Cool, 2017. So 23. Yeah, so whenever Obama Trump was in office, that's when they started getting rid of the fentanyl, basically. And seems like Biden has been trying making efforts to get rid of fentanyl too. Let's see. In the first 2 years, federal officials seized more illicit fentanyl of entry than in the previous 5 years combined. In 2025 alone, the DEA seized over 47 million uh, fentanyl laced pills and nearly 10,000 pounds of powder. Trump administration. While fentanyl seizures began to surge during the final years of first Trump Trump's term, they were significantly lower than the levels seen in subsequent years. Recent trend by 2025, law enforcement seized seizures of fentanyl, particularly in pill form, were 2,300 times greater in 2017. However, total seizures at the border. So that's my bad. Erase the seizures. Seizures, basically. They mean seizures as in taken away, not the seizures as a pathogen, basically. But yeah, total seizures at the border drop in fiscal year 24 to less than I wish they would give me a your review, a chart basically for this shit. Chart. Alright, so let's say fiscal year. Damn. So 2017, this is whenever Trump was in office. So in 49,000, basically, they seized that much, basically. So, so Trump and office date preceded by Joe Biden. So 2021 to 2025. So in 2017 to 2021, it started going high, basically. 2021 to 2023, it surged higher, basically. So Biden, well, 2023, Biden has been uh, more, making more, seas of pills with fentanyl in it than, than Trump, it seems like. Close chart. Oh, hold up. I see that shit. Chart by year. So let's say 2009 to 2026. So within 2026, right? Let's go off of 2023. Not actually, because we already seen 2023. So whenever, so 2021 to 2025. So 2021 to 2025 is when Biden was in, right? So it went down, it went up, went down, and went up, basically. So 2026, it went down a good amount, basically. So so it was 2017 to 2021 is when Trump got into was in office, right? Hold up. So yeah, let's go off of 2017 to 2021. 2017 to 2021. But yeah, he been making efforts, but not as much efforts as as Biden though. So whenever the COVID hit, that's when it was prevalent, basically. That's when it became much more active than it was before, basically. That's crazy. But yeah, this is crazy how they be lying to us like this. I mean, they did a good amount of efforts to get the fentanyl and illicit drugs out, but not as much as Biden though.
369 million potentially deadly doses that can kill Americans. Meanwhile, our attorneys are fighting for President Trump's agenda in courtrooms across this country. This administration has been sued 627 times. We've fought through a nonstop flood of bad faith temporary restraining orders from liberal activist judges across this country. America has never seen this level of coordinated judicial opposition towards a presidential administration. It is not only an unlawful attack on the executive branch's authority, but a serious attack on the democratic process. In spite of this unprecedented judicial activism, we've attained 24 favorable rulings at the U.S. Supreme Court. Their urgency docket and even more to come. We've done so while ending the weaponization of the prior administration by dropping FACE Act prosecutions, exposing the Arctic frost scandal via congressional disclosure, thank you, Chairman, and restoring one tier of justice in this country. To address the Epstein files, more than 500 attorneys and reviewers spent thousands of hours painstakingly reviewing millions of pages to comply with Congress's law. We've released more than 3 million pages, including
Most of them was redacted like shit, bro. So you can't count them.
180,000 images, all to the public, while doing our very best in the time frame allotted by the legislation to protect victims. And if you brought us a victim's name that was inadvertently released, we immediately redacted it. All members of Congress, as you know, are invited to visit DOJ to see for yourselves. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Epstein survivors who are here today. I'm a career prosecutor, and despite what the ranking member said, I have spent my entire career fighting for victims, and I will continue to do so. I am deeply sorry for what any victim has been through, especially as a result of that monster. If you have any information to share with law enforcement about anyone who has hurt you or abused you, the FBI is waiting to hear from you. I want you to know that any accusations of criminal wrongdoing will be taken seriously and investigated. The Department of Justice is committed to holding criminals accountable to the fullest extent of the law. In 2025, the FBI arrested over 1,700 child predators, a 10% increase from 2024. We also located 2,700 victims of child exploitation and shut down 3.8 million dark web pedophile accounts. 3.8 million. So please, if you have information to share that needs to be investigated, contact the FBI. Today, I look forward to discussing further our shared obligation to protect the American people, uphold the rule of law, and keep this nation safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. I'm going to show you two photos.
Thank you.
I'm going to show you two photos of former Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. Under the law Congress passed, you were allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry that we redacted the victim's
Because you were
face?
following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim. Under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act, not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients, like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before.
I agree with you.
You twice.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Never
I agree with
mentioned
you. I agree with you. During
Were
the
you not
Biden,
here
during
then?
the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
Can I answer
Donald
that,
Trump.
though?
I want to move on to another
Can I answer
question.
your question about protecting
You
Prince
answered the
Andrew?
question.
You're saying no. I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Here's a video. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party?
At every party there was, bruh. At every party there was underage girls and boys, I bet. They was fucking them like their life depended on it, bruh. I bet. And they didn't care. And this is crazy as shit, bruh. How they be lying, they be saying all this ridiculousness, but yet can't fucking but you can't blame them off of anything because they get all defensive and shit, bruh.
That Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein.
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things.
They ain't deflecting, bruh. Of course you gonna say that. But they ain't deflecting. They just telling the truth about what y'all be doing.
Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no
President
evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman,
that
please
those
stop the
files
clock.
be
My time.
signed,
Stop the clock.
The legislation.
Time.
This is
Time.
this
I'd like
is
to take
ridiculous.
my time.
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, And this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you, here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was gonna stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
May I respond?
Yeah, I don't know how you respond. No one can.
I did not
can
ask a
respond,
question,
but
Mr.
he
Head.
doesn't
You're
want
allowed
to talk
to.
about
I did
the
not ask a
horrific crime
question.
in California. He does not want to talk about
I did not ask a
crime
question.
in his
She
state.
can't just
Madam
ad
Attorney
lib
General.
stuff. I did not ask a
Trump.
question.
Meeting will be in order. The gentleman has yielded back his time. I think our next witness will be more than happy to let the Attorney General
Madam
respond.
Attorney General, would you like to?
Gentleman from Alabama is recognized for 5 minutes.
You have a few minutes to respond.
Thank you, Congressman. This is what Congressman Liu didn't want to talk about. He didn't want to talk about all the crime that is happening in his state. California refuses to honor detainees because of its dangerous sanctuary city policies. The refusal means California has released 4,561 criminal illegal aliens onto its street. The crimes of these aliens include 31 homicides, 661 assaults, 574 burglaries, 184 robberies, 1,489 dangerous drug offenses, 379 weapons offenses, and 234 sexual predator offenses. That's why they are deflecting. That's why they're trying to talk about the Epstein files. That's currently happening in his home state.
Hello, my name's Jacob Elijah Moses Dell, and
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking, Co-Conspirators. Fully redacted. And by the way, I'm going to unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now, your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking. Not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over-redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to The FBI. And it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr. Chairman. This is how this works.
Can I have my time back?
Mr.
Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from
All
Kentucky.
right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
This is the thing about though. She doesn't want to hear what he says, so she keeps on saying that bullshit, bro. Same with them too, with the Congress people. But I can see why, because they don't want her information to be brought into light. Because all this shit that she is saying is lies.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
4,700, and we invited you in.
Gentlemen.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
See, whenever they don't like what these Congress people are saying or anybody is saying, they use that Trump derangement syndrome, bro. It gets on my ever loving nerves that they like to use that shit because it's bullshit, bro. It's fucking bullshit.
I want you to watch the video.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Welcome to Wix Harmony, where you and AI work together to build a unique brand. Your words become a website, one that's completely yours to define. Generate any visual.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't
bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer a question the way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
now,
where the
I want to know at what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
May she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time has expired.
You didn't answer the question.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, I would,
point of
Mr.
order.
Chairman, could she answer the question?
Chairman, I was wondering,
The gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General's allowed to respond the way she wants to respond to any member's questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized for a UC.
All right, this is an example. I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted, even when you go to look at them.
Without objection.
I'm submitting a witness statement that implicates Les Wexner.
Without objection.
I'm submitting an article from the New York Times that the DOJ released nude photos and identifiable pictures of the victims. I'm submitting a letter from A.G. Bondi to Kash Patel, imploring him to quit keeping the files when you found out that they were keeping files from you, because they're still redacting files that you...
Chairman, are we going to recess for votes?
Yes, we are.
I'm submitting for unanimous consent a document of 17 individuals who've resigned because of the Epstein files.
Without objection.
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Bondi, I went over to the department yesterday for a couple of hours to review some of the unredacted materials. And I am looking forward to your detailed explanation for why you have withheld almost half of the documents, which is required by the bill. Now, obviously, there are 3 million documents, so I didn't get through much. But one thing I didn't see was the client list that you said you had on your desk a year ago. I did, however, find a couple of important documents. An 86-page prosecution memo from the Southern District of New York and a draft indictment from Florida against Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirators. For reasons that I cannot understand nor are permitted by the bill, they were still redacted, even for members of Congress. So, Ms. Bondi, will you commit right here to immediately providing those 2 documents in unredacted form to members of Congress? Not a complicated question.
Well, I guess it is for you because you have a law degree and those are privileged.
Okay, they're not privileged, but we will discuss that later. I also found an email that I have right here from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell that was unredacted. Not a complicated question.
Well, I guess it is for you because you have a law degree and those are privileged.
Okay, they're not privileged, but we will discuss that later. I also found an email that I have right here from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell that was unredacted.
She likes getting that Trump dick in her. That's what it is. I bet it is.
And included notes
or that Epstein dick inside of her.
Of statements that Donald Trump made about his prior relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there is no reason for this to be hidden from the American people. There is no privilege, there is no attorney-client privilege, and I see you're checking with your staff, and I can assure you, staff, this is not under attorney-client privilege because it was sent from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. Will you commit to publicly providing the unredacted version of this so that the American people can understand the extent of Donald Trump's lies about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
You're about as good of a lawyer today as you were when you tried to impeach President Trump in 2016. Have you apologized for that in 2019?
So will you unredact this? Will you
were
unredact
lead
this?
counsel on that. Privileged.
I'm asking you, will you unredact this?
Privileged.
Privileged, of course. I look forward to discussing this more. Now, these are obviously improper redactions.
And let me stop for a minute.
I'm talking.
If they're not privileged,
quiet.
Don't yell at me. If they're not
Mr. Chairman, would you stop the clock? This is on your time. It's not on Mr. Goldman.
They're not
Even though
privileged,
you used your improper redactions,
you'll like my answer.
to
If we
continue
review
to
them and they're not
protect
privileged,
Donald
Time belongs to
we
the
will
member.
be happy to release them.
We'll
after
stop the
review.
clock. We'll stop the clock. Time belongs to the member. Go ahead.
even though you used improper redactions to protect Donald Trump and other predators associated with Jeffrey Epstein, you did the exact opposite thing with the survivors and victims of this scheme. So their identification information was really the only thing required to be redacted, and it was not. And it's clear this was not a mistake. This was not by accident. This was not because you only had 30 days when you really used 75, and that doesn't even include all the hours last March that you were redacting it. But I'll tell you why it's clear it wasn't a mistake. There is an email entitled Epstein Victim List. There are 32 names. 1 is redacted. 31 are not. So someone looked at it and decided to redact something. And I will tell you that that is clearly intentional to intimidate these survivors and victims. Now, in an interview last week...
How will you tell me that's intentional?
In an interview last week, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche...
You can't go off script.
...said that any victim that wants to speak with the department has done so, hopefully. Well, thanks to the incredibly brave people sitting here behind you, we can actually ask them if that's true. Now, would the survivors and victims who are here please stand up one more time? Just by show of hands, how many of you or your loved ones actually have met with the Department of Justice and provided testimony and evidence? None. And of those of you who have not met, which is everyone, how many of you have reached out either individually or through a lawyer or representative to offer to provide testimony and evidence? All of them. And of those of you, all of you who have reached out, how many of you were denied or ignored by the Department of Justice? All of them. And despite the shameful and despicable efforts by Ms. Bondi and her department to intimidate you, how many of you are still willing to speak to the Department of Justice? All of them. Well, Ms. Bondi, it looks like you have some more witnesses to talk to. Gentleman's time has expired. And I yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Attorney General, for being here today. I want to talk with you about an issue on which there is broad bipartisan agreement: the importance of ensuring trust between the American public and those government officials who wield powerful law enforcement responsibilities. So, Attorney General, would you agree that it is important for law enforcement leaders to be honest?
Of course, as well as members of Congress.
Thank you. And would you include yourself as a law enforcement leader?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You know, President Trump has also, he has referred to himself as the chief law enforcement officer of this country. So do you believe that President Trump is honest?
He is the commander-in-chief of the United States of America, and not only is he keeping this country safe, he is keeping this world safe.
It's a simple question, which you didn't answer.
He is the commander-in-chief.
Last June, Minnesota lawmaker Melissa Hortman, her husband Mark, and their dog were brutally murdered in their home. And your USA's office in Minnesota investigated this crime and obtained a 6-count indictment of the murder suspect, stating that he had intent to kill, injure, harass, and intimidate Minnesota legislators. And I have the copy right here. I read through it. Yet a few weeks ago, President Trump suggested publicly that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was behind these murders, posting on his Truth Social account a video raising this conspiracy theory. And it wasn't true. And you know it wasn't true, or else you would not have brought an indictment against the subject. Do you know what else Trump has said? He has said he has cut gas prices by 1,400%. False. That he won the 2020 election.
Actually, gas is down to $1.99 a gallon, thanks to President Trump.
That he didn't know Epstein.
Maybe $5 in California.
It's my time, Mr. Chair. That he sent water to LA during the wildfires. False. That Governor Westmore of Maryland called.
She probably got fucked before this court. That's why her hair like that. For real, for real. I think she having a good time right now. That's why she feeling good about this shit.
Called him the greatest president of his lifetime. False. So many tales, too many to keep.
Pam Bondi is jealous of her, I bet. She gave that good dick.
But I want to go back to what he said
I'm an
about Tim
asshole. I'm
Walz. Do
sorry.
you agree that President Trump undermined public trust in law enforcement by suggesting that Governor Walz was involved in the Hortman murders?
I am not familiar with that statement.
Well, that is a disappointing response, and it is also why your office and Donald Trump
God
have
damn it.
zero credibility. Because I know, and you know, it was a right-wing extremist who murdered the Hortmans. And you and the president are being dishonest with the American people. Last fall, after the horrific shooting of Charlie Kirk, President Trump was asked if there were extremists on both the left and the right. And his exact words were, "I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime. The radicals on the left are the problem, and they're vicious, and they're horrible, and they're politically savvy." Do you agree with this statement? You're taking too long, Madam Attorney General. But you know the answer, because your own department has addressed the question. In 24, the DOJ's research arm issued a report on domestic terrorism, stating that the number of far-right attacks continues to outpace all other types of terrorism and domestic violence extremists. The DOJ published the report, and after the president made those comments, the DOJ took the report down. And I sent you a letter asking you a simple question. Why did the Justice Department remove the data that shows right-wing extremists have killed more innocent people than left-wing extremists?
Did you refer to immigration enforcement as domestic terrorism?
You should answer my question. Yes. You're on my time, but you won't. And what I am asking you to do is put the report back, restore the data. Stop scrubbing important data from your website. Stop taking down reports that you know the American people need to know about. There are violent, dangerous people out here with real threats, and the dishonesty from your agency comes from the covering up of these threats that
from her district. Fucking ever since Trump came into office, you see all these fucking Nazi KKK members just showed up mysteriously, threatening people, fucking tearing shit up. Yeah, you got the one thing about fucking the whole burning of that one thing, but that was under Trump's whatchamacallit, before he almost got impeached, bruh. Because we didn't like how Trump was fucking doing things at the time. And how whatchamacallit died at the time. So they trying to fucking blame everything on us, bruh. On us. For what? When y'all been doing most of the crooked shit and not doing anything about this violence and shit. All the homicide and shit, bruh.
Could hurt American people and put our lives at rest. Do better. And with that, I yield back.
The lady yields back. The gentleman from North Carolina is recognized.
May I have one moment?
You may.
Her district includes Culver City, and she's not talking about any crime in her districts. Nothing about helping crime in her district. She's not even worth getting.
So who the fuck cares? We're talking about Trump, not her district, bruh.
Into the details.
Well, thank you, Madam Attorney General, and we are grateful to have you here today. And let me just say that you've shown great perseverance today, and I think you're coming to the last lap here of those of us that are left. But I applaud your strength, and I applaud your resolve.
You're so adorable in that cute little can. You're so fire. You're so on trend. You're so...
Ew. Switch to the modern soda that doesn't forget about taste. Meet Popwell. Love at first pop.
I think that's all. Yep, that's all. So yeah, this is the fucking video. This is the end of the video. Hope y'all loved it. For real. I'll see you on the next video I upload. You already know. Look at these usernames that I got at the bottom of the screen. Y'all know where them are. They are. The icons. Go to those, search those up. Search up my name. Subscribe. Follow. Like. Do anything just to boost me up in the analytics, bruh. Yeah. I'll see y'all later. Death is out.